Hey, this is Van from the Ghost Ship Octavius, and you're listening to Metal Wani.
Greetings from India, Mr. Van Williams. How are you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing good. How's the day going on so far?
Uh, Good, man. Good. We got a few things on the plate today, that's for sure.
First of all, I'd like to start on a very simple note. How would you describe Van Williams' drum sound?
My drum sound? I'm not sure. That's a good question. I don't know. I think I just try to go for groove and try to go for heavy groove.
So,
that's where I like to be, I think.
all right, that's cool. Now, the Ghost Ship Octavius is your new project featuring Matt Wicklund and the 17-year-old Aidan Fanon. So, how did you guys come together?
Well, Adon is now 18. He's had a birthday, so so we're happy about that, and he's happy about that. When we first started this idea, Matt had contacted me, and Chris Amat was involved at that point, and we just started talking about doing stuff, and if we needed a singer. How are we going to find one? So we put a thing on Facebook looking for a singer. And we basically got a bunch of good ones and some not so great ones, And we kind of weeded through them, and Adon was definitely at the top of the list with another guy. And we just kind of narrowed it down, and it was like a no-brainer, though,
Wonderful.
Yeah, everything was there that we were looking for. So
that's wonderful. And I even went through your debut single, Saturn and Skies. It's phenomenal. I mean,
oh, thanks, man.
A perfect blend of the guitars, your typical drumming style, and the progressive, catchy arrangements, and of course Adon's amazing vocals. It was a real surprise.
Oh, cool. Well, thanks, man. I'm really excited about it, and it's just it's been awesome. Matt is really awesome. Has great ideas and good hooks, and then Adon, like you say, just comes right out and puts like amazing things right from the get go. And I just couldn't be more happier
than
watch the process come about. Because we're excited for it, but we're doing that Kickstarter thing right now. So we're definitely trying to get more people on board because, we're like, we got 40 days, man. We got So
that's cool because, you guys have started a Kickstarter campaign, I think 5 days back. And I was just having a look at the site, and, I'm glad you guys have reached 20% of your target in just 5 days.
Yeah. That's the thing. We're all kind of new to this way of doing things, we're trying things out. So we're all just surprised on the whole process. It could go either way. It's one of those things that it's an all or nothing kind of a deal. If we don't raise the money, everyone's money stays where it is in their banks, and so everyone's safe on that. But we're just hoping we could do it so we can provide everyone with some cool stuff. Because there's nothing better than making a record and then holding a record and
absolutely.
A record in your hands. Yeah, you can get the download online. Sure, that's great too, but it's nice to have both.
It's a different feeling altogether to have a record in your hand.
Yeah. It's like you got stuff. Stuff.
It's really cool.
So we want to make stuff. Yeah, we want to make stuff that that you can get, can have, and be part of this whole thing as it's being created. And we see a lot of possibilities.
That's wonderful. Now, as far as I'm aware, you guys have written 13 songs for this album. So, is the recording done, or are the songs just written and ready to hit the studio?
Yeah, basically, yeah, we have all the music worked out pretty much to where we think everything is in good spots. So we're just ready to go into the studio. And with Neil Kernan on board, he's just going to make the album that much more better. He's going to find things within the songs that could be enhanced in some way, or something that we didn't think of that makes more sense in the arrangement, things like that he just knows. And it always adds like this extra member for that album.
Yeah.
For whoever you're getting as a producer.
Right, that's cool. And who's playing bass on the album? Is Matt taking care of that?
Between Matt and Adone, at the moment, they're going to probably be doing most of the bass. Adone also plays guitar, and he can really play some guitar. He's going to be doing some lead work on this as well.
Right.
Along with Matt, they're going to be doing some stuff. I mean, and he can play some bass. I think he plays keyboards also. Cool. I mean, this is really going to be interesting stuff. So.
That's nice. And how was the songwriting process? Was it like accumulation of your thoughts, Matt's, as well as Eddie Owens, or was it just you and Matt?
No, Matt will basically send... Well, it started with Chris and Matt, and then when Chris decided to do the Armageddon thing, then it was just Matt. And basically just song ideas all mapped out in arrangement that he kind of put together, sends it over, and then it's got drums, it's got guitars, it's pretty good. It's got some keyboards in there, whatever, and then it's just
crazy effects by Matt.
Yeah, he's doing all this wacky stuff on the guitar, so it's just a great thing. And then you just kind of listen to it with or without drums. I prefer it without, and then so I can have a more open mind to everything, and then have a version with some kind of drum ideas, so I can see what kind of directions he's looking at too, and then give him what I make out of it, So then Adone gets some of it and starts laying down some vocal ideas, and it's like, man, this is really coming along great, And so we're getting the demos all together, and then
cool.
We're at that step now that we have enough demos of the songs that we want to start recording them in a studio, So that's where we're at.
That's wonderful. So, I mean, you guys must be looking for the record labels as well who can help you guys publish and, release to a lot many people as possible. So, any ideas or any such proposals have come till now?
Not at the moment. That's the thing. We're just going to have to see what we can do on our own. And if we feel that we need to raise a certain amount of money to make all of these kind of things happen, then that's what we're going to do. It's just a tougher world these days, and labels don't take as many chances these days. And that's understandable. I mean, there's a lot of things happening with the internet. A lot of stuff is easily obtainable. So we're going to just see what we can do.
Things have changed.
Yeah, things totally have changed. Yeah, it's a different game now. So we're going to see what we can do with the fans and go for it,
Wonderful. Now, along with Ghost Ship Octavius, 2013 was an amazing year for you with Ashes of Eris. The album was a commendable effort and an awesome direction you guys went into. There were a lot of influences from Nevermore, from Eyster, etc. So it was all mashed up to create a perfect storm. So the album was one of my favorite debut albums of 2013.
Nice, thanks. Appreciate it.
And fans loved the album. So how was it working with Matt as well as Freddie?
I've known Matt for years from touring together with Nevermore and Iced Earth. I'm sorry, man. I'm getting a cold.
No problem.
Coughing and everything else, but so I've known him for years, and we've always been pals. And, it just came to pass that he was living in
Right.
PA, and I was moving back to the East Coast, and we've always been in touch on here and there, where we'd see each other at festivals, and I ran into him on the Metal Cruise or something.
Right.
Anyway, we just started talking, and he was saying that he was working with Freddie on some music if I was interested in it, maybe doing something with him.
Right.
So I basically said, yeah, well, send me over something to check out, and if it's something that I can add to and help you with, then sure. And they sent me the songs, and it was killer right from the beginning.
Absolutely.
I was like, man, this is awesome. I could see and hear everything in there just from the really, really rough beginnings of the.
All right.
And I was like, oh, it's going to be epic stuff. I think it'll be great.
That's cool. You guys played live as well, at so many festivals and clubs. So, and how was the response? Because people know Matt for his amazing vocals in Iced Earth, and you, of course, from Nevermore. So it was more like a treat for fans to watch two different bands come together and play it.
Yeah, I think it was definitely strange because everyone doesn't know your music yet.
Right.
So. Going to a show, knowing maybe some of the musicians, but not knowing anything about the music, I would think you wouldn't know if you're supposed to headbang or if you should just stand there and listen with your arms crossed,
Right.
I don't know how anyone would really take it. For me, I was just super excited that people were actually, there's applause and stuff, and people were headbanging and doing everything I was hoping they would do.
Wow, that was really cool.
People with their arms crossed too, but it was cool because the music is catchy enough for first-time listeners, I think, to get into.
Right, it surely is. Now,
and that's something that I like.
That's cool. And you guys have started working on the second album, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a lot of that is going to happen today. Right now, I have to get cracking on some of the drums on some of the demo stuff here for this next album.
Cool. So, what sort of approach are you guys planning to take on this album?
We're going to kick it up a notch, I think, on this one. We're just feeling like, why not? It'll be a good balance to the first record in a weird way. So it'll be great. I think both records together and then put them on like mix or something. So
that's cool.
Scrambles all the songs up, and I think it'll like make a nice sauce.
Wonderful. Now did you want to try and define more of who you are as a drummer?
I'm doing that actually. It's shaping as we're speaking. Because Ghost Ship drumming is approached differently than Ash's drumming.
Right.
They both have different elements in the music that I want to get stronger at on every playing field there. So they're both defining me at the current moment of the drummer I'm becoming for the new year here.
Right.
So, and I couldn't be happier about that. So
cool. And do you look at the record as as like a next step for you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Every record is another step. I also do the stuff with Pure Sweet Hell. I play drums on that, and with my buddy Chris Eichhorn, and it's that in its own is a mindset and a frame that we go into to make this kooky record that we can make. So every record does that for you. So it's great. So these records all being so different from each other in a way, it's just going to broaden myself and define
different zones
as a player. So.
Cool. And you're very well versed in the studio, and you're very well versed in live performance as well. So do you find that your approach to the kit differ between the two?
No, I think every time I get behind the kit, I approach everything the same way. How how prepared am I
Mm-hmm.
sitting down here? That's it, you know.
Right, right.
And some days, you know, you feel like, man, I just, you know, I don't want to do that. I don't feel like doing this. But, you know, you just got to sometimes just do whatever you got to do to get moving. And, you know, you're always in the same seat. So I think it just, you know,
Right.
crosses all the same lines.
Absolutely. Now, you have been with Nevermore right from the beginning, until you and Jeff left the band. Nevermore's music was unique and will always be. Especially, you left a mark. You left an amazing mark on Jeff's riffs. So, don't you think fans were badly disappointed when this news came out?
Yeah, I'm sure they were. Yeah. And that's news that it's not taken lightly from the band either. You know, it wasn't what we totally might have wanted to do, but it was more that it just had to be done, kind of thing. So, you know, of course, the fans are disappointed. You know, as a band member, I was disappointed. I think everybody was disappointed. Looking back on it, I would think everybody would kind of realize that, you know. But that's all about moving forward on things and learning and adjusting and figuring out what else you got to do and redefining yourself and, you know, being who you are. True. So that's where it leads us, you know.
And I'm sure you're aware of the fact that even after 4 years, fans still talk about Nevermore. So, you know, are we going to see a reunion in future? That's a common question for you, isn't it?
Well, you know, that's a question that, how do you answer that? You know, it's like one of those things, you know, you can never say never, and, you know, time will tell kind of thing, you know, or you can just say flat out like, hell no! There's so many different ways you can answer that, but I mean, realistically, who knows, you know, if that ever happened. I mean, we've always had a lot of great times too, you know, there was good times and bad times and all of those things. So, I wouldn't change any of it, obviously, you know, it's been good to all of us. So, that's all I can say about it.
So
I talk all the time.
Right. Are you guys in sync? I mean, are you guys in sync with Jeff and Varel?
Well, I talk to Jeff all the time. Basically, we're goofing on the phone every other few days. So I'm really proud of him, what he's doing.
Gotta check out Conquering Dystopia. Did you have a look at the tracks?
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's great. Evolution of death metal, I believe.
It's great, man. Yeah. They're kicking it up a notch, man, for sure. You know.
Wonderful. I'll keep it simple. I mean, which is your favorite Nevermore record?
Oh, favorite one? I don't know. It could have been like, you know, I like them all a lot, but maybe the most memorable in the studio-wise or something. Politics of Ecstasy had a lot of interesting times happening around that era, so that could be my my favorite. That was a lot of fun putting that stuff together, so I'll go with that album.
Cool. Now we all are aware of the current concepts. Things have changed so badly. Now these days, musicians are quitting the bands they once formed due to financial issues. But there are few who are still managing both the band as well as a day job. So how does Van Williams manage?
For me, luckily, when I was in Nevermore, I was when I first joined the band, I did have to actually quit a couple of jobs. Once we started to tour or anything like that. So I did that, and then I started contracting as a graphic design illustrator.
Right.
So I got a job where I can do that at Nintendo in Seattle or in Redmond over there.
Cool.
so I can actually work for an extended period of time and then leave for an extended period of time and return without being tied down.
Cool. So it was flexible.
It was very flexible. So that was a great thing that sustained me through coming home from tours and stuff like that. And it's kind of always been what I've done on the side of music. So basically through that, after Nevermore, I was doing more contracting and freelance work. And then the music on the side. And that's what I do still.
That's wonderful, because I few people are not aware that you are the culprit behind such amazing merchandises for Nevermore as well as Ashes of Ares.
Well, I've always just wanted to put some personal stuff out there. It's always part of the band to me. That's what makes bands. If the bass player is Picasso on the side, well, that's great. Let them paint something. Not that no one's Picasso around here. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying if you have talent within you, it's always nice that the band, does that together.
Right.
If they can, why not? And my art is input from the other guys in the band, and we think of things. So it's everybody's pieces in there. You know what I mean?
Right. That's absolutely true.
So that's what always makes it a little fun to be able to do that. With Ghost Ship Octavius, Adone also he's drawing, he can paint some stuff, and he's awesome, man. So we're doing some ideas. He's already sketched out the T-shirt, the boat, and everything. He's on this stuff.
Wow.
And, it's great to have that. And then Matt, he'll come up with like logo ideas or icons, and it's like, maybe we got to put something like this in here. So we had a bunch of creative minds working together.
Right, not just from the music perspective, but also from the graphical side of it. So it's a perfect combination.
Yeah, it's a great combination. So it's just fun, and expand your mind a little bit.
Right, that's wonderful. Now that brings me to the question that when is it possible for your Indian fans to see you coming here, maybe with Ashes or with Ghost Ship?
That would be awesome. And that's the thing. That's something I can't answer at this point, because it's hard to look past hitting the goal, for one.
Right.
So we'll make a lot of things closer to stronger possibilities. The bigger we can make the band happen, the better opportunities we might get from a bookie in India saying, hey,
Because let me be honest with you. I mean, we never got to witness Nevermore or Jeff Loomis, at least in India, because and there are so many fans out there, especially the Nevermore fans who have been eagerly waiting for at least one of you to come over here and play. So it'll be a dream come true for your fans in India.
Well, I'd love to get over there for sure. I think it would be cool. For sure, but that question will have to come back to another time.
Right, I understand that. Well, I'll end the interview on a very, very short note. How would you define the Ghost Ship Octavius album in just one sentence?
To me, I think it's refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
And and it's going to be. I could see it like big,
something massive.
Yeah. I think it's gonna. I think it could be really cool. Very, very, very cool. It's needed. It's necessary.
Well, all I can say is from the entire team, as well as from your fans in India, there'll be a full support from our side, and wish you all the best for Ashes of Ares, Ghost Ship Octavius, and your other projects.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. I appreciate your interview, and definitely go check it out. It's the ghostshipoctavius.com is up, the main one, or we're on Facebook. or type in Ghost Ship Octavius at Kickstarter.com, and they'll all bring you right there. Bye. Get on board with us.
Wonderful. For your fans in India, does Van William have a message for them?
Yes. Hopefully we'll see you sooner or later. One form or the other. Any form would be great.
Wonderful, Van. Thank you so much again. It's been an honor to have you with us. Thank you so much.
All right, bro. Let me know. See ya.